Hey guys.
Hey guys. So excited to be back for our second episode of Simply Put.
I'm Sophia Schoenfeld.
And I'm Allie Campbell.
We've got a lot of exciting stuff for you guys today.
So many updates.
So many updates.
First off, we are going to be filming every other week. So we're going to have so much to update you guys on within those 2 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the weeks that we're not filming, and sometimes during the weeks that we are filming too, we're going to put out some things on Instagram, some updates, some news updates, some sports updates. So make sure you keep posted with that stuff.
So you can check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube and Spotify. You can actually see our actual podcast. So go check those out.
We just got that uploaded, so please go check it out.
Very exciting.
So before we get started, I do want to make one correction. So last week, if you tuned in, you may have heard me say that Robert F. Kennedy is no longer running. Not exactly true. I'm not going to get into it right now, but later on in today's episode, we will talk about it and why it's a little confusing. He is running for the presidential election this year.
Yes.
But he's not on most of the ballots.
A little teaser for the news segment later on.
So we'll get into it, but right now I think we can just jump right into sports, right?
Okay, awesome. What's up, guys? It is sports time. So excited. My favorite time of the week. Okay, so much to cover today. So many UT-related things, as well as national news. We're going to cover it all. So, we didn't have time to talk about basketball too much last week, so that's going to be the main focus, I think, of the sports segment this week. Lots of exciting things going on with UT, okay? So we played Auburn last week, number 11 Auburn. Dalton Connect, love him. You guys know I will never shut up about him. He scored his record high of 39 points. Against Auburn.
Okay, so I saw something
Incredible.
And it said that he scored more than the other team or something.
Yes.
What is that about?
I'm so grateful that you brought that up. So in the final 12 minutes, Dalton Connect scored 25 points, whereas Auburn, as a whole team, all of their players combined only scored 21 points.
Oh my gosh.
He outscored an entire team in 12 minutes.
What does he, I don't watch basketball, but is he known, our basketball team, is he known in the paint? Is he a 3-point?
He's a three-pointer guy.
Okay.
Well, I think he's a little bit of everything.
Okay,
what can't he do? I mean, right? But I would say he's a three-pointer guy.
Okay.
So then going into the Bama game, that was this past Saturday. Bama's number 14. Okay, so it was a big game. We're number 4. Number 4 versus number 14.
I didn't realize we were that good this year.
Number 4. Big deal.
Look at
this is the highest we've been all season, so very exciting. Rick Barnes, our head coach, really pulling the team together. Very proud of him. So yes, number 4, number 14. College game day came to that game in Tuscaloosa. That was their first time in Tuscaloosa for a game, and it was because of us. Thank you.
Wait,
Dixieland Delight is about Tennessee. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And of course, like we do, we won. Thank you.
Of course. I did watch the last 5 minutes of that game. It was pretty good.
Yeah. The last 5 minutes were intense.
They were intense.
Because it was back and forth the whole game pretty much. But then we pulled through 81-74, got the win. Dalton Connect actually had quite a few fouls too, so they had to pull him out of the game, which was T. Okay, so we play number 18 South Carolina on Wednesday. They beat us at home the last time we played them. So this is kind of a big deal. It's going to be at South Carolina too, so that's a little bit scary. But according to the rankings, we should beat them. So we'll see.
Cool.
Then we go on to play our last game before March Madness, which is on Saturday against Kentucky, which is their number 16. And what's so exciting about that is that I actually have the opportunity to work that game with CBS Sports, which is going to be so awesome.
Yes, I am so excited for you. So
Thank you.
The only basketball that I watch is college basketball. I never I don't know. And then when it comes to March Madness, I rarely actually watch the tournament. I don't know, but I've always done the brackets.
You've got to do a bracket.
Always done the brackets. It's so much fun. I actually won once.
No way.
I think I was 13 or something. It was when Villanova won.
Oh, yes, yes. My
I
math
remember.
teacher actually was a huge Villanova fan. They were not supposed to win, so she said there will be no homework for a week if Villanova wins. And
my
then they
gosh.
actually won, and it was incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Funny you bring that up. So we're both going to do brackets for March Madness, update you guys on our status.
Wait, that would be so much fun.
So fun, right?
Yeah, that's
we
amazing.
have to. Okay. So then, moving right along, sticking in the basketball realm, but outside of UT, this is more national. Have you heard of Caitlin Clark?
Is she... It's not Idaho. What is her team? Utah?
Close. No. And I bet they're thinking the same thing.
It's a red team, right?
No.
Oh.
Close.
Okay.
Black.
Oh.
Black and yellow. Iowa. Okay.
Okay, I was...
Yes.
Idaho, Iowa.
Very similar.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
Okay, so she's the Iowa point guard. Incredible. I mean, this girl, she never fails. She's so awesome. My idol, okay? People are like comparing her to the greats like LeBron James and everyone.
Wow, good for her.
I know.
Girls in sports.
Girls in sports.
Yeah.
So she's actually like really raised the viewership for women's basketball, which is incredible.
That's amazing.
But she surpassed Kelsey Plum's 3,527 points, which was a record at one point, and then passed Lynette Woodward's 3,649 career points this past Wednesday, which that was crazy because that was the all-time scoring record for women's college basketball. But that was before 1982, which apparently the NCAA doesn't recognize before 1982. Isn't that weird? I don't know.
That is really strange.
Yeah.
Good
So,
for her, though.
Passed both of those two. And then as of Saturday, she passed Pete Maverich. I can't say that. That's impossible. Wow. Passed his scoring record.
Wow.
Now she has 3,669 points, and she is the highest Division I basketball player in terms of scoring. Highest scoring basketball Division I player between men's and women's.
That is amazing.
So
That's
cool.
amazing.
She's awesome.
This girl deserves like a monument or something.
She does. She really does.
Wow.
Travis Scott went to their basketball game and like was meeting all the players and everything and hyping her up. So that was cool.
Good. That's amazing.
Okay, we're back. So, full transparency. The cameras just completely shut off right after the basketball segment.
Yeah.
So-
Camera difficulty.
Yeah. We're still learning.
It's okay.
Yeah. Still don't know why that happened, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
We'll figure it
we'll
out.
figure it out. So, we're going to get started where I left off. Okay. Baseball is back.
Woo-hoo.
And softball. Very exciting. So, we're going to talk a lot about that next week, probably. I'm just going to give a quick little overview right now. So, we have some key players who we will talk about next week that are actually new to the team that are like a huge part of the team and their success right now.
Awesome.
So that's very exciting.
Wonderful.
They are ranked number 5. Big deal. The Tony Vitello effect. Love him so much. He's the Tennessee coach, just to give some background, you know. And then softball just had their home opener. They have been away at California, and I believe they played like Hawaii or something.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, they played some like
That's
tropical
cool.
team. They just had the Tennessee Classic, so they played Stetson, Brown, and Longwood, and they defeated all of them. Some of the games were run rule games, which means that they had 8 points, an 8-point lead by the 5th inning, so they stopped it early.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's awesome.
I know, so
they
proud of
crushed
them.
them.
They crushed them.
Nice.
So they're ranked number 9 as well. So top 10 in both softball and baseball. There are these fans called the Locos. Have you heard of them?
No.
They are so fun. I love them so much. Okay, so I've had to cover some of the like less covered sports like swimming, tennis, and softball. They have been at every single one.
Wow.
They're so fun. They've got to be retired or something because
they're older.
Yes, it's like these 3 couples. Mm-hmm.
Wait, that is adorable.
Yes. They dress up for every game. They came in, so I covered 2 games yesterday. There was one in the morning and then one in the afternoon. They came in one outfit. It was like looked like a white jumpsuit with like orange
Oh.
paint on it. Yeah, it was fun. And then they switched outfits for the second game, and it was these giant inflatable like blow up orange suits.
That is amazing.
Really fun with like these white wigs.
We love the locos.
They're awesome. They have chants for every player, and they bring the energy. They like run around the stadium too and interact with fans. That's amazing. It was incredible. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So, okay, moving on from baseball and softball, swimming and diving. They just had their season wrap up with the SEC championship. Big deal because they did great. So Florida actually won both the women's and men's competition, but UT came in second for the women's team.
Nice.
Amazing. They have quite a few really strong female swimmers, including Mona McSherry, who won gold. She is an Olympian and will be heading to Paris in September for the Olympics, along with Jordan Crooks, who's another Olympian. He is a really strong male swimmer for the team. So the men's team came in 5th, also incredible. Very proud of our UT performance at the SEC championship. But what was not expected was that freshman Camille Spink actually also won gold in both the 50 free and the 100 free.
Wow.
Super cool.
That's really cool. I don't know what those are. What those races are. Does free
Yeah.
just mean you can do anything?
Freestyle.
Freestyle.
Sorry. Yeah.
Freestyle.
Cut it down. Thank you for asking me because I'm sure somebody else was confused.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't watch swimming.
Yeah.
Swim. I should because it sounds freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I might have to go with the locos.
You
Locos?
should.
Locos?
They will bring the energy. You will have fun. You could be watching golf. Sorry if you love golf, but like it's kind of.
I played golf in high school.
Oh, that's right. Awkward.
Shame.
Well, I'll go with
golf
the local.
Is not fun to watch. I will back you up on that. Yeah. So
I think it would be fun with the locos, right?
The locos would bring fun to golf.
They would bring the energy. Okay. So, moving on from UT sports, I hope I didn't bore anyone that is not a UT fan or student, but I mentioned it last week that I would touch on this. EA Sports. I'm a woman of my word. I said I would mention it. Here I am mentioning it.
We keep our promises here.
We keep our promises. So Sophia asked a really good question. She said, why haven't they done or have they done college football in the past?
Yeah.
They have. They previously did it, but had to end it in 2013 because of an NCAA lawsuit. Look at them ruining our fun all the time.
So it happened already.
Yes, it happened.
And it was just like...
Yeah. Canceled because of the NIL stuff. Name, image, and likeness.
It just keeps coming back.
It keeps coming back. Yeah. So back then, college athletes weren't able to have any NIL brand deals, okay? Now they're able to have some, so there's a little bit more flexibility, but it does look a little, confined in the certain limitations within NCAA. We can see how easy that is to, break those rules a little bit. But it is coming back because NIL deals are now allowed.
Okay.
So
good to know.
Yeah.
They're back.
Very exciting. Yeah, and they did actually try to not include the players' names so that they didn't break those rules, but they would have the same player and make them look the same as the actual person in real life, but just not say their name. They'd have the same stats, same appearance.
That
if it was
shady.
Peyton Manning, they just wouldn't say his name, but
That's
it would
smart.
look just like him.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's shady.
Shady. And
got
apparently
caught.
it didn't work. Yeah.
They got caught.
But very exciting that they're coming back. Of course, as that develops, we'll get back to that. But I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on that and some UT sports updates as well.
Okay, guys. So now it is time for our news segment.
So exciting.
So exciting. So I teased it a little bit at the beginning of this episode. If you watched last episode, you might remember me saying that RFK, Robert F. Kennedy, is no longer in the race. That is not true, but there's a reason it's confusing. RFK is still running in the election. However, he does not have enough signatures to be on any of the ballots.
Which is crazy to me.
Which is crazy. It's because there's a couple different kinds of processes, and each state's ballot is different. So I'm not going to get into all of the details because that would be 50 different sets of rules. So that's a lot. However, He does currently have signatures for Utah, New Hampshire, and Hawaii. He is working on signatures for Arizona and Georgia.
Okay.
But he only has signatures for 3 states right now.
And that would be massive if he got a bunch more signatures,
Absolutely.
especially in Georgia, because I know that flips between a blue and red state periodically.
Yeah.
But being an independent, that takes away votes from each party.
Yes.
So that would be a big factor.
It would be a big factor. Now, if he can't get signatures, there are some really complicated ways that he could work around it. However, there are already speculations going on right now that his campaign may be violating some policies in the effort to get these signatures. I'm not going to get into the details of that until there's more information. But
I do also feel like they say that about every single politician in the world.
Whoever they can come at, they're
that's true.
So that's where we're at. So RFK is in the race, but he's really only on 3 ballots. And if you're not on ballots, you can't get votes.
It's crazy to me because he had such excitement surrounding him when he first declared that he was running.
Now, you can get votes from write-in votes. And so that means people don't actually vote on the ballot. They write that they want RFK.
Mm-hmm.
But the likelihood of that overtaking ballot votes is pretty slim.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at with RFK. Also, with candidates, remember Marianne Williamson? And I was like, oh, she's not running anymore.
I remember you mentioned her, yes.
So she dropped out of the race on February 7th. Let me double check. Yep, February 7th. She dropped out of the Democratic race. Okay. On February 29th, she re-entered, which is right after we filmed.
I wonder why.
So she's back in. Because there are a lot of candidates right now. What I want to do is in the upcoming weeks, in the upcoming days, I'm going to start posting candidate guides on our Instagram.
Genius.
So make sure that you stay tuned with those. So they'll just be little slide shows you can scroll through and just learn a little bit more about them, because it would take up a lot of time on here to talk about all of them right now. Once we get closer to November, we can hone in.
That's really smart and an easy, quick way to get the information you need.
Yeah, absolutely. So ballots. What I want to talk about is campaigns today and ballot access laws. So, going to kind of get into a little bit of what it takes to run for president, right? So, we know that RFK can't get on a lot of the ballots right now.
Right.
He's struggling to do that. So, typically, independent candidates have to petition each state individually to get their name on the ballot. So, that's what he's doing. If you're an independent, you have to petition each state individually. That's where those signatures come in, a couple other processes that are different depending on the state.
Gotcha.
Party candidates, so Republican or Democratic candidates, they have to be nominated or sponsored by the national party.
Okay.
That happens through caucuses and primary elections.
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
Caucuses and primary elections determine whether or not candidates are going to be sent to the national convention. And then it basically determines their sponsorship by the party, Republican or Democrat.
It's kind of crazy to me that caucuses are still around. They're only in 2 states, right?
Yes. So I do want to talk about the difference between caucuses and primary elections.
Perfect.
Primary elections are voted on by the people. You go in, you cast your vote. Caucuses are not voted by the people. So caucuses are voted by political party members. So when there is a Republican caucus, party members go, they get together, they have a big meetup, and they vote.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So there is a difference. Primaries are the people, caucuses are political party members.
And caucuses are in person, correct?
Yeah, they're in person.
Because now with primary votes and just votes in general, I believe you can do mail-in ballots.
Yeah, you can do mail-in ballots. There's a lot of different things that can be worked around.
Okay.
So that's the difference between primaries and caucuses. So you have to pass these primaries as a presidential candidate in order to get to the national convention, in order to get to the election.
Right.
Also, campaigns take a lot of money. We talked about last time. How do we get that money? Where does it come from?
That is a great question,
right?
Sophia.
So there's a lot of different ways. Essentially, political candidates take donations. That's what we're going to call it. you probably have gotten an email in your inbox. It probably went to spam, but you probably have gotten an email saying, support me, support whoever, Nikki Haley, you know. Every time you buy a yard sign, you know, people have yard signs.
Oh, yeah.
That money goes to the candidate's campaign. The other way that they get money is through PACs. PACs are political action committees. Do you know what a PAC is?
I actually learned this in my political science class last year.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. So, for those of you who don't know, political action groups are literally groups of people that, like, they're just designed to raise money for campaigns. A lot of them have specific issues that they root for.
Yes.
I'm going to make this one up because this is what we're talking about later. Let's say that there is a PAC that is in support of abortion for women.
Okay.
Free of regulation. They are going to try and raise as much money as they can to give to the candidate that they feel supports their point of views on abortion.
Right. I feel like that would be pretty effective because they're narrowing it down to one specific issue that they're focusing on. Yeah.
There's also just like straight up Republican, like, or straight up Democrat PAC. So there's all different kinds. Now the tricky thing is PACs can only give up to $5,000 to a candidate per election.
Oh, wow.
That's not a lot of money.
That's not that much.
In the grand scheme of things.
They're spending millions on these campaigns.
Mm-hmm. So, that means that there are thousands and thousands and thousands of PACs.
Yeah. Wow.
Because I want to give you a little tidbit.
We should start a PAC.
Joe Biden has raised the most money for his campaign total from inside and outside donations. And that is $160 million.
Interesting.
To take $5,000 from one PAC to $160 million. So there's a lot of PACs.
Yeah.
So that's the main way. Donations from supporters and donations from PACs.
Okay.
There you go. So to wrap up primaries, there are some primary results so far. So this can kind of tell us, A, who Democrats or Republicans think is going to win in their category, and B, who is actually going to be sent to the election.
Right.
So, as of right now, Trump has won every single Republican primary except for one. Nikki Haley won Washington, D.C.'s primary.
I did not know that. When was that?
It was last week, I think.
No way. I didn't realize she's won any of them.
Nikki Haley is the first woman to ever win a Republican primary in the history of the United States.
No way.
It is a huge deal. Like,
that
humongous
is
deal,
crazy.
and nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
She's the first woman to ever win a presidential primary as a Republican.
I'm
not
insane.
sure about Democrat or independent, but 100% first woman to win.
And they had Carly Fiorina, who was gaining some traction a few years ago when she was facing Trump originally. Yeah. So I'm surprised that she didn't win anything.
Absolutely. And then Joe Biden has won every single Democratic primary that there has been. There really is no competition for him.
What's the other guy? Binkley?
Ryan Binkley.
Love him.
So that's where we're at with primaries. And now we'll move on to our next topic. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our second topic. This is a little bit of a heavy one. Before we get into it, I want to stress that this is not an opinion podcast. This is not.
Except when I say I love Dalton Connect.
That is the only thing. That's the only thing. This is not an opinion podcast. I am not telling you how I feel about a specific issue. Allie's not telling you how she feels about a specific issue. We are here for the cold, hard facts because you guys need to know the cold, hard facts if you want to have an opinion.
Exactly. So, and that's the premise of the podcast. We're trying to give it to you in a way that's easy to digest.
Yeah. So with that being said, today we're going to talk about abortion, which is a heavy topic.
That is a heavy topic.
But there's a lot going on right now. And that's kind of strange because I felt like the debate is kind of over because it spiraled with the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Right.
But now nobody really talks about it as much.
And there's a lot to unpack there because I feel like college students know the term, but they don't really know the specifics of the different viewpoints. So I think this is a great topic for college students to learn about.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, I want to get into the history of it because I think that's important before we talk about some big headlines that are going on right now. So on January 22nd, 1973, Roe v. Wade was put into place. We hear Roe v. Wade all the time. What is Roe v. Wade?
Great question.
So, Roe v. Wade ruled unduly restrictive state regulation of abortion as unconstitutional.
Okay.
Unduly means excessive. So, excessive restrictions on abortion by state basis. They believe, the people who voted on Roe v. Wade believe this is true because if you regulate abortion, it violates the constitutional right to privacy.
Okay, so they're saying that you should, like, your body, your choice kind of.
Yes, and so that is the main base. Of course, there are other factors, but that is the main reason. That's what they base that court ruling on.
Okay.
The right to privacy is not explicitly stated in the Constitution.
Gotcha.
However, it is pretty generally agreed that it is implied.
It's an implicit
It's
rule?
an implicit rule
Okay.
from the 14th Amendment. So the 14th Amendment states, I'm going to read it word for word. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. This is the important part right here. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws.
Gotcha.
So that 14th Amendment is very long, and they say that that is implying the right to privacy.
Okay.
Now, those who disagree with abortion will point out something from the 14th Amendment saying that, okay,
Wow.
nor shall any state deprive any person of life.
Wow, that's loaded.
That's loaded. So the people who oppose abortion, want stricter regulations on abortion, believe that an embryo, like the early stages of a fetus, is life. And so they say that same amendment that guarantees your right to privacy
Yeah.
guarantees life.
That is crazy that both sides are looking at the same
Yes.
exact line, the life, liberty, and
Yeah.
property, and they're seeing it differently.
Yes. So that is
Wow.
the basis of the whole debate. Religion aside, all things aside, that's the basis. This 14th Amendment, is it constitutional to potentially invade someone's right to privacy by regulating abortion? Or is it unconstitutional because then you're not guaranteeing the protection of life?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it's the same amendment,
Oh my goodness.
which is crazy. So when the overturning of Roe v. Wade happened this past couple years, it did not ban abortion. It overturned that the banning of abortion was illegal.
Okay, gotcha.
So now states can ban abortion. It's no longer unconstitutional for
Okay.
a state to ban abortion.
So now it's up to the state government,
Yes.
correct? Okay, because
Yes.
I've seen things about people are like going to a different state where it's legal to get
Yes.
abortions.
Exactly. So, and the reason that Roe v. Wade was overturned is because the U.S. Supreme Court decided that they did not believe there was enough supporting evidence with the basis of Constitution. From the Constitution,
Okay.
they did not think there was enough evidence to protect abortion constitutionally.
Wow.
It's not based on the Supreme Court opinions, their religious views, their political views. It's based on, okay, we're looking at the Constitution. They did not believe that the Constitution had enough evidence to support abortion.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's why Roe v. Wade was overturned.
Interesting.
Now, this is where we get into why that matters right now. CVS and Walgreens this last week are now going to be distributing abortion pills to the public
Wow.
in states that it is legal,
Okay.
not in states that it's illegal. In states that it is legal, I think they're rolling out the plan in Rhode Island right now.
Wow.
With that being said, you still have to get prescribed the abortion pill.
Okay.
You just don't have to like go to the center and do the process there.
Okay.
So here in
So they're
Tennessee,
making it a lot more
yes,
accessible.
it's a lot more accessible. Here in Tennessee, abortion is banned. So that's
Okay.
not going to happen here in Tennessee. But it is important to know for the rest of the country
Yeah.
that that's going on. In Tennessee, abortion is prohibited at all stages of pregnancy with very
Wow.
few medical exceptions.
Okay, because some have the heartbeat rule. So once the embryo or fetus like has a heartbeat, then you are not legally allowed to abort it. But yeah, Tennessee has a stricter policy where at any point in the pregnancy, you're not allowed to abort the baby.
Yeah, which is very important for you to know if you are living in Tennessee.
Yes.
regardless of your views. So wanted you to know that. The second and kind of the last thing we'll talk about as to why this is important, today, actually, in France, today, Monday, March 4th, French lawmakers are gathering to pass a law that makes abortion a constitutional right.
Wow.
This is different from Roe v. Wade, because Roe v. Wade was making a law that said because of the Constitution, we don't think abortion should be banned. The French are actually putting it in their constitution
Okay. Wow.
that abortion is not against the law.
Okay. That kind of makes sense with the way their government is led. And the rest of the policies that they have, so that doesn't surprise me, but that is quite different from what's happening here in the U.S., so that's interesting to highlight.
Interesting perspective. And so both houses of the Senate actually already agreed on the bill, so we don't have the results from today, and we won't probably until tomorrow, but it is highly likely that it will be passed.
Okay.
So we will keep you updated on that. We'll definitely put something out on Instagram, keep you updated on that. With that being said, back to the primary thing, y'all, if you have Tennessee residents, vote. If you're not a Tennessee resident, make sure to check out when your primary times are, because they're coming up. They're rolling out. I think they go through April and even maybe June. So stay on top of it.
Very exciting.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And that's it for news today.
All right. Thank you, guys. That is it for episode 2.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We had a great time with this one.
Yes.
As always, we're so happy that you're listening. We hope you learned something new. As always, again, please let us know if there's something you think we said wrong. If you want to know more about something, let us know.
Yeah, we are so open to any suggestions that you guys might have, and keep looking out for our socials, trying to promote this thing. So spread the word.
Get it off and running.
Yes.
But thank you guys so much again for tuning in. We will see you guys next time.
See you next time.
Bye.